Good day, good day. Happy February. We are still in self-love month. OMG. Are you feeling the love? Are you feeling the people? It's just been so beautiful. We're going to have an amazing guest today. She made me cry the second time I met her. The first time I met her, I wasn't really sure what the heck I was doing there, but the second time I met her, she made me cry a lot that day. I love this woman. She's got such a heart. She's got such a gift to this world. And I cannot wait to tell you all about what she does in the world and how chronic health can impact us as business women and how self love and self worth is the most important thing we really need to have in our business. So, welcome to the show, Melissa. And is it Gilbo? Did I say it right?
Yes, yes. Oh my
Please
gosh.
introduce yourself.
Thank you so much for having me here, Roxy. I am so excited. As soon as you reached out, I was like, yes, yes, yes. I cannot wait to have this conversation with you. So for the show listeners, if you don't know anything about Women's Business League, we
I
might
don't.
at some point today. But my name is Melissa Gilbo, and I'm the founder and CEO of WBL, which is Women's Business League. Alongside of that, I do a little bit of consulting as well underneath Melissa
Hmm.
Gilbo Business Consulting. So here I am, and I'm so excited to be here.
So the first time met Melissa was at a networking event that was around golfing.
Yes.
Never knew anything about golfing, nor did I know why I was even there. And it was right after I still was recovering from my brain injury. So everything was awkward at that time. It was a nice event, but then around my birthday week, I went to this unbelievable soiree that was the day after my birthday. And we got to dress up, and there was women in the room, and the vibe was high, and it was just amazing. But they also were very inclusive. And you know me on Embracing What's Possible. We love to talk about inclusion and talk to businesses and business owners and business programs about inclusion. And I said, I want to be a sponsor, but it's a disability organization. Is this going to be a problem? No, no, we should have it in. And of course, I'm the only disability organization on the board. And that made me cry. And that made me happy because representation is really important. And I think she cried too.
I did. And that was the first time I truly got to meet you in person. Like
Hmm.
online, we've done one-on-ones and virtually, but being with you, Roxy, in person was unbelievable. And I know that the other women that were there felt your energy and your heart. You absolutely lead. You do. You lead from a place of heart and human, and your
Yeah.
message, your whole brand is so incredibly important. And I'm just so honored to know you and be a part of your world. So
The thing is like we did a psychic event last night. And it was the first time that I did it out of my network. So I just kind of let the network I posted it, branded it, but I let it sit her from Brandy Wells's perspective. And the people that showed up literally had some chronic conditions in the room. And they were intrigued by, oh, it's benefiting a disability company. And I had these beautiful, gorgeous bags there, and I had me there, and I was like, I don't know any of these people. I can't walk in this room looking like a schlub, or looking casual, right? I can't do that. And me doing that is really difficult and really hard, but it's also exciting, and it's not hard, and it's not scary, but I had 40 minutes to get ready. And I still looked fabulous, but I had 40 minutes to get ready. But you can't just walk into a room of a bunch of strangers and not look confident. You can't walk into a room, and it's not about the hair or the makeup. But
oh
no, it's not about the outfit. It's not about the hair or the makeup. But you have to walk into a room in presence. And if you walk into that room in presence, and I think WBL really understands this, if you walk into that room in presence, a sweatsuit isn't going to cover it. You have to kind of walk into a room. You're saying you're owning a media company. You got to look kind of nice. You know, like you don't see the CEO of a media company walking in a jogging suit after or their gym clothes. So, there's a level of representation that you're wanting, and then, in the disability world, they don't understand. Like how, oh, well, you're not in a wheelchair. Oh, you don't have a walker. You don't have a mobility device. But there was a bunch of people in the room that talked about chronic health.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I actually really do believe that you can walk into any room and it doesn't matter what you look like. Like you said, it's not the hair, it's not the makeup, it's not what you're wearing, it's who you are.
Correct.
If you need to walk in with your head high and the confidence is what people gravitate towards, presence, energy,
Yes.
you,
100%.
you smile. I actually
Mhm.
last night I went to back to Merrimack College where I graduated and I got the honor of speaking with some of
Wow.
the young women there. And this is the message I was sharing with them. It's not about your GPA, it's not about
Mhm.
your major, it's about who you are and how you show up in this world. That's what makes people gravitate towards you.
Right.
And the piece that I landed with them that they took away, Roxy, was that it's how you make people feel. That is how you are going to be remembered.
100%.
They're not
Yes.
going to remember what pants or shoes you had on. They're going
No.
to remember you for how you made them feel. And
Yes.
that is the power of presence and walking into a room. Nothing else matters,
Right.
right? Do you hear that?
I do. I do. But, I also know for my self-worth,
Yep.
when I do my hair, even if it's a quickie,
Yeah.
when I do throw on a little bit of makeup, I want that look of beauty. I want to have that reflection. It gives me that extra boost of confidence.
Of course.
Now, I can't do my hair and my makeup and all of that for this every single time because I'm recording a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
A lot.
But
So, and I
right.
can still exude the confidence on here. So I agree with you. But if I'm going to show up in a room, I like the power look. However that looks.
Yeah.
Whatever outfit that needs to be for that power look that day,
Yeah.
I like the power look. But if I'm going to be doing this all the time, this is what goes on. That's
Yeah.
my secret to my self-worth is I may not be able to do my hair and makeup every day, but I'm going to put on some earrings and a piece of jewelry. But I
That's like,
agree. I do. I
yeah.
do. But, now what's some tips? How do we get this confidence? How do we get this self-love? How do we get this self-worth? Because I can tell you that it's not been an easy journey for me when everybody told me that I was stupid and I couldn't do shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not an easy journey when they basically were all saying, Roxy, you're incapable of everything. Okay.
No, I can't even imagine the journey. I can't.
No, when you sat in a room with a neuropsychologist and they said, you could never be a therapist. Why would you ever think that you could be a therapist? You don't have the intellect for that.
Yeah, not okay.
And then they like sit there and I'm like, I don't want to be a secretary. Sorry. I don't want the boss telling me how to file and making demands on me.
Hmm.
And I said, and then, I'm somebody's puppet for the rest of my life. I said, that's the job you think that I'm supposed to endure my whole life? Well, there's nothing wrong with it. Secretaries are wonderful. And I'm like, yeah, but there's something wrong with it for me
Hmm.
when I want more. And you're
Right.
not telling me I can have more. You're telling me that I have to be stuck in the whole world of being a secretary.
No, and I think at that point you have to know what you can absorb and what you can deflect and reflect, right? What can you leave behind you and take
Hmm.
with you, right? Like there's things we leave behind and things that we're going to take forward. So I think, being confident means learning how to accept and reflect.
Mm,
Then what if it's feedback? We get feedback all the time, whether you're a
yeah.
business owner or, the feedback just comes unsolicited.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to take, I always say all feedback is good feedback, but you have to be able to remove the facts from the feelings.
Correct.
And if you can take the feelings out of it and operate with the facts,
Mm-hmm.
move you forward, right? Because how many of us have gotten that and we just want to react? We want to send that email. We want to, uh,
Right.
but,
Well, I kind of did today.
oh,
I somebody had made a bad deal and I got excited. I was like, "Oh God, no money down. I could buy something." All the dreams and all the ideas, but I'm like, "Wait, I don't want that kind of burden on me." And I don't want also I'm about to embark on something else cool. And I don't want, to be the rabbit hole of what that would be instead of what I'm focusing on, which is my important work.
right. But that also is confidence, Roxy. Like,
Yes, oh, tell me more.
is knowing what you want and what you don't want, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That North Star is something that is really important. So I'm proud of you actually for
Oh, thank you.
because you
Staying on my brand, like staying in what I want to do, which is, I want to help people on a table and I want to be able to engage in wonderful conversations like this and give education.
yeah, and that is confidence. That is self-love because you know exactly what you want and what you don't want. And when you have that alignment and you know
Mhm.
that, it is so powerful, right? And
So, so a
confidence.
lot of people with disabilities don't feel that way, right? And it's because that we're told that we're less than all the time, or that we're incapable of doing things all the time. So, what can we say? Now, I know what I can say as a person who has gone through it, but what can we say to our world that we're trying to educate on self-love and self-worth?
Well, let me flip the script and ask you, Roxy. Like, I actually want to know, like, what did you do? What do you do in those moments? Like, can you share with all of your listeners some
I
wisdom?
cried a lot. I
Yes.
really cried in a lot of corners a lot. Um, a lot
What?
of crying, but you know what I also had was a lot of determination
There you go.
and resilience.
Yes.
So it was a lot of determination and resilience. Wait a minute. You're telling me because of X, Y, and Z that I'm not going to be able to get my driver's license? And I had to wait until I was 28 years old to get my 27 years old or something to get my driver's license. And you're going to tell me that you're not going to that I won't be able to do that, and then you're going to go around. And I had somebody did an eval on me and she said, "Well, you don't know yourself in time and space. I think this is too much of a risk." And I'm not going to and I don't think I'm going to put it forth that you can do it. And I said, "So you're going to take away all my independence. And because of your damn report, you're going to let me lose my independence." I said, "How does that help a human being with a disability?" So I fought.
Determination,
I
right?
went to there. I went to Arizona Center for Disability Law, and I met this really cool guy named John Gutierrez, and he taught me about advocacy, and he fought with me. And guess who drives?
Right. I mean, this is really important for your listeners to hear this from you, Roxy. Like, that determination goes a long way. You tell me I can't do something, watch me.
That's my whole world. That's what I do. And in this world of embracing what's possible, I want that for you. I don't care how big or small it is, but I want that for you, right? I just learned this really cool somatic tool, and I literally know that it's going to impact people's lives mentally, clarity, awareness, health. I saw a spiritual thing yesterday when I did it on somebody who has been working with for years, and I mean, in all aspects of health, I'm going to be able to help people.
Yeah.
And like, that's amazing. And if I was told how many times that I was unstoppable, even when I was banging on doors to start my massage career, you're very green. You're very this. Oh yeah, you're not going to be ever an A+ massage therapist. Well, maybe I was never meant to be a massage therapist. Have you thought of that? Maybe I just needed to learn that so I could just figure out how I could help a human. And I help humans all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that whether they tell you no or not, what do you feel? How
What
do
do,
you feel?
if somebody tells me no,
Yeah.
say watch me. Watch me. I'll figure it.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out. We have the confidence within ourselves and our self-worth, our self-love to figure things out. So, just like Women's Business League, I had no idea how to run a business. I didn't. I had no business running a business. I grew up in the insurance world, right, for over 20 years. But I do know this, and especially for your listeners, Roxy, that when you're passionate about something, that passion will pull you. That passion
Oh my God. Makes you fly.
it fuels you like a rocket. And when you are so passionate about something, you're going to
Mhm.
figure it out and you're not going to let it fail. Right? This is your baby. You're not going to let it fail. You're going
No. Mm.
to surround
Uh-uh.
yourself with the
I
right.
cradle it. I cradle it so deeply in my arms that like I literally, and last night was the first time that I felt like my business was like, maybe this is so real. And
Yeah.
then like it made money last night because sometimes it doesn't know how to make money.
But it takes time, right? It
Yeah,
takes
it does.
takes showing
Yes.
up and consistency. You can't just
Yes.
do something for a week and be like, oh, it didn't work. Nothing
No.
in a week. You have to give it so much time, so much
Yes.
consistency. And then once it starts to get that momentum, that's when it starts to feel real. And it's not right
Mhm.
away. It's never right away.
No, it's not.
No. So I applaud you for the consistency that you are putting forth because it is going to come, right?
Well, I mean, I've established a wellness practice, so I
Yes.
know how to do that. And I have all of this background and experience and expertise in disability because as a lived experience. But
Right.
beyond that, I literally worked for government and I worked for organizations and I gave that I this was an offering that I mean I worked like I had jobs that paid me to do things in the disability arena and I was on commissions, and even out here I felt like I got spit up and swallowed and thrown on the street. And just recently because of the determination I've got appointed to the Massachusetts Commission on Statewide Independent Living Council. I mean, and that's an important honor.
Yeah.
I'll
That word is so, it just resonates so deeply. Determination, determination. Like,
determination.
yeah,
Mhm.
I think this whole episode is just surrounding itself around determination for self-love,
Well, let's kind of break that down for an audience, especially for people who don't know how to get started.
Yeah.
So I say it's a one digestible step at a time. So what I would say is let's say somebody's like, "Oh, you can't do that." Okay. Well, I'm going to just take you have a love affair for dogs, right? So what if you created a walking dog club in your neighborhood? Then you built relationships and you walked with these people every week. And maybe new people started to join you. Oh, we'll just call her Riley. Riley, God, you take care of your dog and your neighbor's dog so lovingly. Would you mind coming to my house and feeding my cats?
Yeah.
I'll pay you. OMG, you started a dog walking club. Now they're paying you. One digestible step at a time.
Great advice.
Right? Then
Yeah.
your neighbor has marketing experience and says, Hey, we know you've never done a business before. Would love to sit down with you. Do you want to create some social media posts? Do you want to do something? Maybe we can also take you to the town and then you can kind of dog animal sitting business,
Right.
you know? And now all of a sudden you're taking care of the dogs and the cats while everybody goes on vacation and you've got some money coming in. Whoa.
So that honestly is how Women's Business League started.
Ooh, tell me that story.
Same scenario is how we got off the ground. So, I ended up building WBL because of my insurance role.
Mm,
I had to bring in new clients, and how was I going to meet all of these incredible people? And we ended up building the table we wanted to sit around, but it happened so naturally and so organically.
yeah.
And it was that for over a year, right? So we started connecting, and then we brought more people in, and they brought people in, and we started naturally just meeting every other week. And
Mm,
what we found was that these people were showing up for each other because they wanted to, not because they had
wow.
to. And it was all based on the relationships that were happening around that table. Week after week, we started to get to know each other, and we started helping one another because we wanted to. And that's how Women's Business League started
Right.
organically. And then it was an aha moment. So you're absolutely right, Roxy.
You
Like,
just gave me an aha moment from a conversation I had yesterday. And I really think that that's how I'm going to build the next couple of chapters.
yeah. And I think your listeners need to know that they have to be open to receiving these aha,
Yes,
right? Because, like we had talked about before the show started, opportunities are everywhere. You just
everywhere.
be able to recognize the ones that are right for you,
Right.
and deflect and reflect the ones that are not for you, and that's a lot,
Right.
right? That's self-love, that's self-care, is operating um
Hmm.
what you want to do, not what you have to, that have to.
Yeah, I don't want to chase anymore. I want to impact, and I don't want to chase too much anymore. I want to impact, and I want to grasp on things that make me feel happy and beautiful. Like
What?
like I want happiness, and I
Yeah.
want and I want beauty, you know. With the impact in the world that's happening right now, and then the snowstorms and everything that was happening. I just kind of put up my flag and surrendered and said, look, if it's going to be a quiet week, I know that financially this could be harmful, but if it's going to be a quiet week, I at least need to accept that and start again next week.
That's right. Yeah, and you know what else is really something that I love, sharing even with everybody. And I spoke to the young professionals last night, is that when it gets hard, and it does, and it will, when the hard happens, you can't let it harden you.
Hmm.
You can't let the hard harden you. You have to
Yes.
be able to feel it, cry, like you said, have a
Yes.
time on the floor, but then get right back up. You have to
I
get back up.
I feel like I handled a situation right at the holiday time that could have went bad. All that I was telling the person was, look, I feel like the group isn't working for me. I feel like I'm struggling in the group. I don't feel like I'm home there. I don't feel like this is right for me. Well, we can revisit that. And so, I don't know. I said something online, and I said, all that I want to do is hold this person's hand and hug her mother, blah, 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 blah. And the person was so sensitive. It was their sensitivity that they were like, if you talk about me and my family ever again, I'm going to take legal action. And I was like, but I'm saying I want to hold your hand. And I'm like, what are you going to take legal action over? That I'm saying that, like, something isn't, we're having a conflict, but really, my heart, it literally just wants to connect and bring everybody together. Why
Right.
can't we? Right. And, such a scary misunderstanding for that other person. And sometimes that would bring me into a tailspin. And people came at me saying, Roxy, are you okay? What's going on? And I'm like, I'm just telling somebody that I'm not comfortable and I felt bad and I cried. And that person is like thinking that I'm going to go after them with a disability, like, scare, and I wasn't. I just was asking for support and help. And and you told me that you were going to be there for me. You told me you were looking at me and admiring like a sister, but you didn't understand me, and I'm not understanding you. And so why can't we come together? But a lot of times that would have made me feel sad. That would make me feel hurt, right? And this time it didn't. This time I didn't into that.
And why? Why do
I
you think
grew up.
you grew up? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think I grew up. um, the reason why I think it was a little different, Melissa, was because I feel like I I literally knew that this wasn't mine. I had the confidence, the understanding, and the emotion that whatever was coming from her was
Yeah, you had that
mine.
deflection, right?
Yeah, I can reflect that clearly.
You took what was for
Yeah.
you and left the rest behind you, right? So you need to make
Yeah, all the asking was extend your hand to me if you're willing to do that. If not, the easy way out was to give me the eviction notice. That was the easier way.
mm,
Yeah.
sorry you went through that. That's tough.
Gone through it my entire life. I've been kicked out of spaces and places my entire life because I'm too different. I'm too weird. I'm not normal. I'm not this. I'm not that. Not good enough. Too fat enough. Too this enough. And, why do you think Roxy has to create her own way a lot? I have to create my own way because if I get myself into spaces that, don't want to accept me, the rabbit hole starts.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
hear
it's
you.
a fear to walk into spaces because you never know which way it's going to go. But
Right.
I also build enough confidence in myself that is going in that direction.
Yeah, I think that's important for your listeners to hear and see in you, right? And hopefully they can take that with them forward.
But the show is not about me. It's about my guests.
I but we're learning so much from your story. At least I am, and I'm
Oh,
honored.
that's great. I mean, I'm all about education and awareness, and that's why the whole embracing what's possible, embracing disability exists.
Yes.
I mean, that's the whole reason for it, and I appreciate that. Share a little bit. You've been winning some accolades. You've been getting a ton of, celebrations for you. So I'm going to give you a round of applause on that. I mean, I've been seeing a lot, so there are almost too many to mention right now. What do you think has, you've been doing WBL for about 7 years, right? So what do you think has kind of like spiraled into that for you?
What a great question. Yeah, I think actually I know that I gained more confidence too along the way. I really did. When you first start something, it's so new. You don't know how to navigate. You don't know what the next thing is,
Yeah.
what's coming
Yeah.
to you. And I've grown a lot in this role and through Women's Business League. Um, and I've learned a lot, right? And I always say that I will never change who I am. I have such a strong foundation. The roots in the ground are there, they're so strong.
Right.
Always learn from our journeys, from other people. So through the almost 8 years that WBL has been here, I definitely have learned a lot. I've grown a lot, and
Congratulations.
with that came confidence that I thought I had maybe a little bit of it. But all of those recognitions, I don't know, that's for everybody else. Like I got that like the humble,
Mm.
but the work I do is for you. It's for everybody else.
Well, and I've been in other groups, and the groups that I'm aligning with right now is this thing about access. And in the disability world, we all want access. But, I'm in another group. It's very large, and I don't have access. I don't even have like a space there. I'm in it and I'm known, but there's no access. There's no like entry point for me to get into or out of. And I still don't understand how some people can get into that entry point. But what I've loved about WBL and also the mastermind group I am in is that there's access and there's an entry point, right? So, to just be able to text you and you answer,
Yeah.
just be able to say, "Hey, Melissa, I'm going to put you on my show because you're pretty amazeballs and I think I like you a lot." And, you know, and, and, the fact that you get to say yes to me, right? If I go into another group and ask them that, the leader may not be able to, the leader probably wouldn't. The leader probably wouldn't have the time, nor would they have the energy or give that access.
Right.
And no, can you do this for every single person? Probably not. Because boy, if we did it for every single person, it would be too hard. So I want to commend that, but I also want to kind of bring that conversation up too, and then we'll do our wind down and we'll do our wind down on the show.
So what's the actual question on that?
Sure.
Be able
What's the actual question? What do you think about you makes this so different? And is there a special purpose that you make yourself accessible? Not that you can make yourself accessible to everyone, and I don't think we should. But what makes, and the reason why I don't think we should is because there's boundaries, and I think that there's time and there's energy exchange.
that's right. That's
Right? But what
burnout.
makes you allow yourself to be accessible? I remember when I went to the event at right after the women's conference, we had a lovely networking party. You were accessible there.
Hmm. Yeah.
What brings you to be able to do that? Why do you do that?
What a great question, Roxy.
I love interviewing, can you tell?
Yes. You know what? It truly is my heart. It's
I know it is.
it is my heart, right? I am a heart-centered leader. I always have been. I've always put people first, right?
Mhm.
People matter,
No matter who they are,
no matter who you are.
right?
Yeah. So I truly do enjoy learning and getting to know people. More importantly, the story behind them, their why, their journey, like their hearts. I am here for that, and
Mhm.
I want to be able to make a difference and be a change maker and help in any way I can people. Whether it's in your life, your business, make a connection, whatever it is that you need. Um, it's all about that impact. It's about the legacy. It's about
Mhm.
our as people. And you know me, Roxy, I show up the same, whether I'm in
You
person,
do. You
online.
do.
I am, and I'm not pretending to be anybody else than
And the beauty of what I saw when I first met you to the beauty that I see now, right? And that was 3.5, maybe years ago, I'm going to say 3-ish years ago, is that the woman that I saw up on that stage, I liked you. I could feel your vibe. But the woman that was on that stage was hiding. Like
yeah,
you were hidden. The woman that I met when I met you was in power.
yeah, yeah.
So we answered a lot of the questions that I asked at the end of my show, which was really exciting. So here's going to be the question that I'm going to ask. I feel like you and I and many of the people we know are very powerful women. Not that we have this power and like we're going to control people. We don't do that because
But
we're art.
it might be more of an impact.
Yes.
Is
So,
power.
how do we get started with making an impact? And, power is probably the wrong word, but impact is probably the right word.
So how does somebody get started in making an impact in other people's lives? You just lead with your heart. You follow your heart. You have to, right? If you have to show up too, you have to show up.
My
You
friend asked me a question today. What about grants? And I said, if I do not show up in my conviction and I just let somebody else do it, never going to work.
Yeah.
They have to know the passion that is so deeply inside of me of why I do the work that I do.
You can't fake that. People can
No.
feel that from you. If they see how passionate you are about something,
Hmm. Hmm.
want to start that movement, that momentum, that impact that you're looking for. You have
Right.
to be all in 110%. And it's a lot of work. You can't, you, I think I already said this, but if you do nothing, nothing will happen.
Right.
So to make impact, you have to at least take that first step forward,
Hmm.
the right part, with the right reasons, with the right intention.
Right.
And if leading with the purpose of just making money is
Oh, no.
it's not going to work,
Oh no. Oh
right?
no. If you're in this to be able to, I'm going to blink my eyes and I'm going
Right.
to go make this potion today.
Be a
And this
millionaire.
potion is just going to sell itself because it's the greatest potion in the world.
It's not going to
Not
work.
going to happen. Not
And
going to
that's when
happen.
people are going to feel that from you and the impact won't be there. So
Yeah.
like the advice we could give to the listeners today, you have to believe in what you're doing and
You have to believe in it with all of your heart.
you do. And people can feel that, they'll know it, they'll sense it, and that's when the impact starts to happen.
It's funny. This week, and I thought I was too harsh when I did it. But in Boston Businesswoman, they do these challenges, right? So it was the no thank you list. And a lot of times people will come to me, "Hey Roxy, can you help me with X, Y, and Z? Can you do this research? Can you do this?" And I was like, "And you expect my 30 years of experience to just give that to you?" The other great question is, "Roxy, you're doing a lot. Can you give me your contacts?" And I'm like, "So all the money that I've been spending on my contacts, you want that money?" So okay. I'm like, so I said the no thank you to no more pay is the no thank you. And that's my impact because I have been working hard. Since I was 15 years old, I've been in training on how to network. 15
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah.
And, and then also all my disability education, and I'm still in disability education. I still have to go onto webinars. I still have to look on the websites. The language has changed. Things have changed. I have to learn things new all the time. And yet, I really know that when I show up, I'm showing up with my conviction and my heart wide open. Because
Yeah.
honestly, a hug knows no disability. And I really just want to hold your hand and be like, "Hey, what do you do? How can we hang out? Are we going to be able to create some cool stuff together? Let's play." Like,
Yeah.
that's really what I want because, like, joy and wonderment is important. And, doing what you love is important. And,
Yeah.
the money can follow and it will follow.
That's right.
It will follow. It'll happen.
Well, it will. What a
Yeah.
great conversation, Roxy.
I know this was really wonderful. I really cannot wait to have you on to something else again in the near future. Thank you so much for being on the show. I again am Roxy B. Rocker. I am the host of Embracing What's Possible with Roxy. You got a lot of mic drops and nuggets today, my friends. Tune in this whole month. And I've got a secret. The men are showing up soon in our February self love, self worth segment. I cannot wait to what the men will teach us because I had a thought and a God download that Why are we not asking the men about their confidence and self-worth and how do they get there? Because men are disabled, men are people, men need to be telling us.
Yes.
So, yes, Melissa, this was such an honor, such a grace, and a delightful conversation. And look at her, what she did. She made me do all the work. Remember who you are. Remember you are confident. Remember you don't go through this alone. And remember how worthy you are. This month is all about self worth, but many of our conversations will be going back to confidence and self awareness because we need to embrace our what's possible. And I'm your host, Roxy. I'll see you soon. I cannot wait to share with you the February episodes with Self Love and Worth Month. They're going to be delightful, fun, and very informative.
I'm embracing what's possible, heart open wide, where fear used to whisper, now love is my guide. I'm not just surviving, I'm setting the pace, wearing my story with shimmering grace. From shadows to spotlight, I rise and I sing, embracing what's possible, changes everything. This is your prosperity.